Well, I think I don't think it's about awareness. It's about our judges being matured, and it was quite disappointing that the Indian judiciary, which is known to be very matured, giving a very disappointing judgment. But then, it suddenly teaches us that not everybody in the world is matured about matters, and we have to live in a world full of immaturity. Homosexuality is part of nature. If you read a National Geographic documentary, there are 1,500 species in the world where they have documented same-sex activity. So first of all, it's natural. Now the question is whether a culture will accept it and in which form will it accept it. I think a mature society will accept it, and a civil society has to accept people, sexual orientation, whatever it may be, if they express it privately and between adults. I think we live in a civil society, and matured adults have a right to do what they want in their private space with consent. I think that's the question. How matured are we? Are we going to allow people to live their private lives with consent? Do we trust adults? Why should government enter the bedroom of a person? These are the larger questions, and it is up to the judiciary to decide whether it wants to enter the bedrooms of consenting adults. I think that's the question of social maturity. It has nothing to do with Indian culture. Yes, Indian mythology, the Puranas and Vedas refer to queer sexuality, but that's not the basis on which you say that it should be part. It is a question of civil rights. And we are a civil society. And I think civil people, in a civilized society, adults have a right to live whatever they want if they are consenting adults in the privacy of their bedrooms. I think that's the question. So when you read Greek mythology, there are many stories of man and boy love. You don't find such stories in Hindu mythology. There are stories in Hindu mythology, you'll find stories of men becoming women, women becoming men. Such stories are very rare in Greek mythology. So basically you see a focus on gender in Hindu mythology, Buddhist mythology, Jain mythology, and you see a focus on intergeneration love, like man-boy love in the Greek mythology. That's the fundamental difference. As I said, all cultures, all mythologies, all religions have gay stories, but they're all in different forms. Nothing. People will continue to do what they do, but without fear. And it will be done in privacy, with maturity, and in consent, in the privacy of their rooms. And I think that happens even today, but today it is done with fear. And hopefully once the law is repealed, it will be done without fear. You please remember, this law is a colonial law based on Abrahamic mythology. And it also assumes that non-vaginal sex is unnatural. That's based on extremely primitive, outdated 19th century understanding of nature as well as culture. Everybody has a right to their imagination.